Hey guys, it's your boy aijalonwallace. Welcome back to the channel. I make videos about recruitment, traveling, and sometimes IT. And today we're going to be talking about safety tips if you're traveling to Rio de Janeiro. Now, I want to give you guys some advice on some cool locations to live. One of the locations that I strongly would recommend is Ipanema, Copacabana, Flamingo, and Lemmy. These are the most popular locations, the safest locations. Copacabana and Ipanema are probably the most tourist locations because this is where the beaches are at, okay? Now, if you are coming to Rio de Janeiro, I would strongly advise you to probably get a money bag. You can order one on Amazon for maybe $20, but a money bag is something that it's like a small item that you put between your pants. That way you can hide some of your cash and your passport as well. Going back to passport, I would strongly advise you to probably leave your passport in a safe at your house and bring out your passport card with you when you go out to restaurants or bars. Because if you lose your passport, at the end of the day, you're stuck in a country and then you have to wait on weeks and weeks to get another passport. So you just don't want to be stuck or in a situation that's going to be hard to get out of while you're on vacation. So just do that to prepare yourself. Now, if you are going to the beach, do understand that there are no bathrooms on the beaches, and you may be out there with a lot of things. So it's always good to go with a friend or a group of people, or just make sure. That's why I advise you to have a money bag, because most people, when they do use the bathroom, they go into the ocean to use it, and then they go back to sit down. There are a lot of pickpocketers on the beaches and purse snatchers as well. So do be mindful. And, even though there are police, policing the areas of, the Copacabana and Ipanema area, I don't know if they're going to really run after someone at the end of the day, so just be mindful of the situation like that as well. Most popular party areas is Lapa and Santa Teresa. So, go out and have fun, but I would strongly advise you to walk around in groups of 3, 4, or 2 even, especially if you are walking around by yourself at between the times of 2 a.m. and 6 a.m. You do put yourself at a higher risk of getting robbed or being put in a dangerous situation. So I just want to make sure you understand that if you're out. I did live in Lapa and had a good time, felt safe, but make sure you put yourself in the right situation when you are, if you're leaving a club, take an Uber, take a taxi, or try to leave with a friend just to play it safe at the end of the day. Be mindful of the people that you bring back to your apartment as well. If you just met someone on the first day, or if you matched with someone on Tinder, in Rio de Janeiro, sadly enough, prostitution and drugging has been increasing high in Rio de Janeiro. And you just need to be mindful and protect yourself in certain situations at the end of the day. If you are meeting someone off of a Tinder app, try to go meet them out in public. Do a little bit of research on their Instagram profile, try to get them to see your picture, your ID, talk to them to see how the conversation is going. And then you'll be able to know if that person's a catfish or, if that person's real or not. But just be careful giving out your address when you first meet someone, in Rio de Janeiro, and be careful of who you bring back to your house as well. If you are going to get money out of the ATMs, I would strongly advise you to go to ATMs inside of a bank, or potentially inside of the malls. That way you don't have to worry about someone being over your shoulder or snatching your money as soon as you leave the machine. So just be mindful of that, and only carry as much cash as you need at the end of the day. There are a lot of places where you can use Apple Pay or you can use your credit card. So just make sure not to be carrying too much cash on you when you are traveling around Rio de Janeiro, okay? I would also strongly advise you to be mindful of, having your phone out in public. There are a lot of people that snatch phones. So if you're at a bus stop, if you're outside, even sometimes if you're at a restaurant that's on the street, you are at risk of getting your phone snatched, your iPhone snatched. I do travel with 2 phones, and I do advise people to do the same, but be mindful about that. You having your head down, look at your phone for minutes and hours, someone can easily snatch it. And if you're not in the shape or in the conditions to run after that phone, most likely the police are not gonna run after it for you at the end of the day. So I just want you guys to know that if you are thinking of going over there, if you do get into a bad situation in Rio de Janeiro, whatever it is, someone's robbing you, just give it up. It's not worth your life. Do not be a hero at the end of the day. This is Rio de Janeiro. And I would strongly advise people from going to the favelas, as tourists because they think it's cool. It's not fun to play with your life like that when you go to these favelas. There has been a few incidents of people who went to these favelas and things did not go well for them at the end of the day. So I would not try to explore, even poor areas with dangerous situations. Do understand that you are a target when you do come to these countries at the end of the day. I would also advise you to try to limit your as much jewelry as possible. Do not be walking around with gold chains or jewelry or your watches. I did wear a watch. I do wear a watch to work, but I always would take an Uber straight to the office, and I would take an Uber straight home. I wasn't exploring the city and walking around all day, and I wasn't putting myself in a lot of situations where I was at risk. So just be mindful of that you're not wearing your jewelry. It's not too flashy at the end of the day because you don't want to seem like a target. Fashion is not a big thing in most of these countries because it's so hot. So nobody's really wearing clothes at the end of the day. So it doesn't really matter how fresh or how cool you look, but be safe, take the right precautions if you are thinking about going to Rio de Janeiro. Most importantly, watch your drink. I've read a couple articles and a couple incidents recently in some of our, Facebook groups. We have like SPACs in Rio de Janeiro or digital nomads in Rio de Janeiro. There's a couple of people who got drugged and set up. And if my advice is if you're going to the bathroom or if you're leaving your drink, throw it away. Drinks are really cheap in Rio de Janeiro. Throw your drinks away, order a new one because you just don't know, and it's just safer for you at the end of the day, but always watch your drinks and always protect yourself and always look after yourself as well. Another thing is watch your back when you're walking down the street. Sometimes people walk blocks and blocks and blocks and they never watch their back. Watch your back to see if someone's following you or someone's chasing you or someone's trying to see where you live. It's always good to understand your surroundings at the end of the day. I would strongly advise it. Listen, if you like this video, you want to see more videos like this, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Let me know your thoughts. If you're going to Rio, let me know when. If you got any other questions, comment below. Can't wait to see you guys soon.